Good afternoon. So, today makes 7 days that I have not watched pornography, and I want to talk about it. First and foremost, it's been a long time since I can say that I went an entire week without watching any pornography at all. It's been a long time since I could say that. So, it's actually quite a big deal for me. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about how I feel at the moment, what I've done differently, and what I think the future is going to look like going forward. And I'm going to do this in rant format. So there's that. So first and foremost, boy, things have been very different. But I'll start with the second point. The second point is what I've done differently to get here. And it's actually, I started writing down my thoughts, journaling. And I ended up writing something a couple days ago that pretty much summed it up. And I recognized it as soon as I wrote it. I was like, that's what did it. So basically I wrote, I think what was different this time was that I just didn't care. For the first time, what I wanted was more important to me than how I would go about it. And that summed it up. That right there is the essence of what I did differently. I didn't care how I was going to do it. All I cared about is that I wanted this habit to be broken. Yeah. I just didn't care. And the reason why that sums it up is because for so long I spent so much time thinking, how in the world can I possibly overcome this, right? I have to have a cell phone. I have to have a laptop. Even my damn, even the TV can connect to the internet. The PlayStation can connect to the internet. I just started thinking, how in the world am I going to do this, right? Like the how, I just couldn't figure out how. So I think me not knowing how I was going to get it done somewhat curtailed the tenacity of my efforts, right? Me not knowing how I was going to get it done somehow caused me to not go full force with just trying to with just trying to do it in the first place. And then what I ended up doing differently was I just looked at I just considered, what if I was an alcoholic? If I were an alcoholic, there's no way in the world I would keep any alcohol in my refrigerator or in my cabinets or anywhere stashed, because I know that I would abuse it. And so I and I had these thoughts before, but like I said, what was different was I don't care what I have to do. Something has to change. I really don't care what it looks like afterwards, but I need to do something different. And thinking down that path, I realized that it wasn't the phone that I was abusing. It wasn't the TV. It wasn't the laptop that I was abusing. It was the internet itself. I had to take very careful account of what my habit looked like. It's not like I went to the store and bought DVDs and brought them home and put it in a DVD player and was watching that. If that were the case, I would just throw away a DVD player and just never buy another one. But that's what it was. I realized I need to get to the source of it. And the source of it was the internet itself. So I made a decision this month, well, pretty much a week ago, to completely cut out internet out of my house. So for the last 7 days, I've had no internet here. I canceled my cable subscription, and I took Cox Cable their box back, and now I've had no Wi-Fi or anything. So now my PlayStation is basically useless, and I have no Wi-Fi in the house, no internet access at home, period. And lo and behold, that seems to have been the answer. Because ever since then, I have not peeked at anything. I have not edged at anything. I have not looked at any of those images whatsoever since completely ridding myself of the internet. And the funny thing is, I had thought about doing this before, but that thought of, well, how am I going to do the things I have to do? How am I going to check emails and do school work and all that kind of stuff? How am I going to do that with no internet in my house? And I just said, I don't care. It's got to go. Maybe I won't be. I took a risk. I thought maybe I won't be able to do my homework properly. Maybe I won't be able to do research. Maybe everything will collapse the second I get rid of the internet. But I just didn't care. I wanted it gone. And my instinct was right. So there's that. The only thing that has worked in the years since I have been actively trying to kick a pornography habit, the only thing that has worked has been disconnecting my house completely of internet. It's the only thing that's worked. Porn blockers didn't work. They're way too easy to get around. Anonymous groups didn't work because those guys were actually in a much different category than I was. I thought I was bad. Not to down anybody, but there's levels to this, put it like that. So those guys were in a rabbit hole I hadn't even begun to fall down. The only thing that worked was just getting rid of the internet. And it's so simple, right? You know, the alcoholic just needs to get rid of all the alcohol in his house. He needs to keep a dry house. Well, now I have a dry house. And now what has changed as a result of that? Well, for one, I'm never home anymore. Immediately, all the things that I would do from home, like doing homework, schoolwork, research, and any of that kind of stuff, immediately I realized I have to go outside of my house. I have to go to I go to coffee shops, Barnes and Noble, bookstores, that sort of thing. I go to those places to do any work that requires the internet. And that's the biggest change. I'm just never home. I'm always out there. Everything I have to do, I must leave here to go do it. Even to upload this video, I'm going to have to go somewhere else to do that. And that has been the most significant change. And it's brought the most out with it. Because the biggest mental benefit it's had for me is it's made my house so much more peaceful for me. Like it's so much quieter in here. Now I can actually sit here and read a book because I don't have YouTube in my house distracting me. I can sit here and read a book, or I can sit here and draw, or I can go in my backyard and work out, and it's peaceful. And doing all my work outside of the house, it has the effect of making a clear separation between work and home. I don't work at home. Work from home for me really now means work from wherever I gotta go. But it will not be in this house. So now my house gets to just be my house. I don't have to turn my kitchen into an office. I don't have to get furniture for my bedroom to be comfortable working in there. No, Why would I do that? I can go somewhere else that has internet, and there it is. That place becomes my office. And when I come back here, it's all chill. I'm doing what I want to do in here. I'm sleeping, I'm reading, I'm training, I'm thinking. Now my house really has become more of my castle. And to keep with that same analogy, now when I go to sleep, it doesn't feel like, I'd love to know what y'all think about this, because understanding how ubiquitous pornography and any kind of sexually explicit images can be, even going to sleep it felt like I was going to sleep next to an enemy. Because if I roll over to one side, there's a laptop right there. If I roll over to another side, there's a phone with endless Wi-Fi capacity right there. Going back to the alcoholic analogy, it felt like having bottles of liquor underneath both my pillows. That's what it felt like. Because it's like, how can I really escape? Even if I kept my laptop outside in the truck, I could still just bring it in here, and then it's going to connect to the internet, and boom, I'm good to go. The phone, if I use my phone, boom, I got endless Wi-Fi right here. So getting rid of the internet from my house, it's like the insurgents that lived within my ranks have now disappeared. Like, I can sleep peacefully now. It's awesome. It's really awesome. But most importantly, it's made my house feel like I am totally in charge here, and the things that I don't want distracting me have no place here anymore. That's been the biggest relief I felt in a long time. And to that end, to tie it up, I think I'll easily be able to go another week just like this. I think I'll be able to go another week of being outside, going from place to place all day long, speaking to people, interacting with people, giving compliments, getting compliments, asking questions, interacting with people. I think I can go another week of that easy. I can go another week of, after I've done everything I can for that day, and I stop inside of a place to have a beer before I go home, I think I can do another week of that. And I think I'd be able to do another week. And I am almost entirely decided, and I'm like 99.98% decided, that I don't think I'll ever get internet in my house again. It's really just too peaceful to go back to that. Because once you throw off one shackle, why would you put the same one back on? After you escape one prison, why would you go back inside the cell? I can't see myself ever having access to the internet anymore. I mean, that's really where I'm at. In all seriousness, I don't think I'll ever get it back in here again, or anywhere else I live for that matter. And I get an extra $100 back in my pocket each month, so I'm not paying a cable bill. So that's where I'm at with it right now. Today's November 19th. And I think the rest of this No Nut November is going to go by like a breeze. I really do. And it's going to be a No Nut November. It's going to be a dry December. And it's going to be a just awesome January. I don't know. You guys come up with something, but that's the idea. Okay? So all of you, drink some tea. Don't be afraid to make a big change. I'll see you all later, okay?